I thought of you and I brought you this. I hope you like it.
Hey everyone, it's Wowman. I hope you are doing well, and in today's video we are going to be diving into some pretty disturbing Instagram accounts, some that I found that honestly made me feel pretty uncomfortable and honestly made me lose a bit of sleep. So if you want to do the same, keep watching. Also hoping you guys kind of like the background. I know the last couple of videos the background has been pretty boring, so I actually finally got time to decorate a little bit, so hopefully that looks a little bit better than the last couple of videos. But yeah, so Instagram in itself is a pretty disturbing place. I know we've covered Instagram a couple of times in the past already. We did a whole deep dive where there was a bunch of live leak videos that were just kind of being uploaded onto the platform, and there weren't any restrictions taking them down either. And then we took a dive into some more disturbing Instagram accounts, which more so focused on the kind of artsy side of Instagram when it comes to horror-based projects. So in today's video, we're going to kind of be doing the same kind of thing, going into that darker side of Instagram when it comes to more so artistic visualizations of horror. And yeah, honestly, we got a couple of creepy ones on here, so if you're in the mood to lose some sleep, yeah, join me. But before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as well as liking the video and commenting, bruh, as usual, because all of these things do help me out a lot actually. So if you could do them, that would be great. And yeah, let's get into it. So this first Instagram account goes by the name of Mugrekuin, and while this Instagram account isn't as disturbing as some of the other Instagram accounts that we'll be taking a look at later in the video, I did still want to include it because overall the account is pretty fascinating to take a look at. And genuinely it's some pretty creepy stuff on its own. In the first post onto the account, it's this short clip of a character dressed in muted colors staring at the player. It then turns into a loop of the person petting the head of the character until their face is painted red from embarrassment. And while this video is pretty innocent on its own, the downward spiral of the approach that this account takes is pretty unsettling, to say the least. The next couple of videos on the account are honestly kind of a vibe, especially when it comes to this video featuring a character playing the Ouija board. The character plays the Ouija board until summoning the devil himself, or at least some iteration of him. The next video is also pretty chill, with the character from the last video sitting on the lap of a skeleton. And I know these videos really aren't that creepy. However, where things really start to take a turn for the more disturbing, it's when we get to a disturbing rendition of a My Little Pony character. The face of the pony is just completely mangled, with blood dripping down from where their mouth was disfigured. Their eyeball is also completely popped out and bloodshot red. And the next couple of posts, they follow this theme of a disturbing rendition of multiple characters of the My Little Pony franchise. And I'm not too familiar with the names of these characters, so please cut me some slack. I'm just going to be calling them by the color of the pony, so please don't hate on me. I'm not familiar with the My Little Pony lore. In this one, we can see the yellow one, which appears to be stuck, having been pierced by the spikes coming out of the ground. It looks like an infection having been erupted from the ground, one that has now made its way to the character's head, slowly eating them alive. Not really sure the purpose of this video other than being nightmare fuel. I feel like if you were to watch this video on repeat for say like an hour, it would definitely do something pretty bad to your mental state, I feel like. In the next video, we can see one of the ponies being chased by another one from the previous video, having been able to break free from these spikes, but the lasting effects are very much evident on the pony, as the ribs are completely exposed and the back of their leg is almost completely torn off. The next post is simply an image of the same My Little Pony character, and in this one we can see the sheer deterioration that their body has taken as a result of whatever the liquid was that was coming out of the ground. But now in this image, their brain is leaking from their head, and almost all of their limbs have seemingly just fallen off. Perhaps whatever this was is acting as an infection, slowly eating away at different parts of the body. The My Little Pony posts, aside from these couple of posts, pretty much stop on the account. I think there was only a total of maybe 4 of them, but the theme that the account begins to take after these posts is pretty much characters that were featured in those first couple of posts. They all feature these different renditions of these anime kind of characters in this PS1 art style. And while some of these posts are honestly pretty funny, like there's a post that says, me explaining to Ryuk why my ex's name should be in the death note. And this other one that says, mi cerebro a las 3 de la mañana, which means my brain at 3 a.m.
Empanadas. Empanadas.
I'm kind of craving an empanada. I haven't been for like a couple of weeks. So if somebody could send me an empanada, that would be super sick. I would highly appreciate that. There are also some darker posts on this account as well. Like this one that features this entity hiding behind a mirror as it speaks to you. Saying, quotes, if you don't know who this character is because you didn't find out about the wonderful event of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Of course, I converted the character into something 10 times shadier than the original, but the unknown was worth it. And honestly, I had pretty much no idea what this character was, and I kind of had to look it up because I was, pretty unfamiliar with this entity. But apparently it is based off of the knockoff Willy Wonka experience that was, launched, I think, maybe like 6 or 7 months ago now. The one with the girl that was dressed up with a green wig and she looks like she really doesn't want to be there. And it kind of looks like the set from like Breaking Bad, but if it was Willy Wonka. So pretty much this entity was featured in that Willy Wonka experience, even though the character never once appears in the original story. I found this Reddit post that pretty much sums up the entire thing pretty well. The Willy Wonka scam experience basically operated on a script made using AI. The AI generated a random villain called the Unknown, who existed in the factory. The Unknown literally never appeared in the original story, so it's quite literally an unexpected fanfic creepypasta character, which somehow manifested into what should be a standard story. Ironically, the costume fits the situation shockingly well. If the Wonka thing wasn't a scam, the Unknown would be a legitimately terrifying children's book, villainous thing, because it's so surreal and abstract in its portrayal of just not belonging. I honestly thought it was a pretty cool character, especially hiding behind a mirror. I feel like if I saw something hiding behind a mirror, it would, make me never sleep again. But going back into the account, the next post is of this silhouette of a being that is sitting with his arms and legs facing the ground. The caption reading, "The day I was bended in pain, begging you not to leave me." This post and the next one kind of delve more into existential horror, as in the next one the character questions their very self. In the video it states, "Why can't you save me? If I'm you, and when the time gets dark, only with you shall be." Something about this video really got to me as well, as the video is a pretty horrifying concept. Not in so much of the traditional sense of horror that we've come to know, where like an entity is chasing you, or you're fearing something coming into your home and stealing you, but in a kind of horror that we can all kind of relate to. A more grounded version that kind of happens every day. How at the end of the day, we truly are always left with ourselves, and that horror of what if the self isn't capable of taking care of you. Because no matter what, you will always be stuck with yourself until the day that you're not. I really appreciate the art style of this video. I'm really nostalgic when it comes to PlayStation 1 kind of stuff. And this video in particular, it might just be my favorite pieces of horror that I've seen in a while, just because of that existential horror. Something about that really like gets to my brain and feels feels like unnervingly good. I don't know if that's ever been used. It just says so much about the brutality of the harshness you have when facing yourself, but ultimately self-acceptance is the only true cure. And as for the next one, it's a little bit of whiplash. I know this last one was kind of more existential, kind of dealing with your own personal battles. But this next one is just straight up freaky. In the video, it looks like what is a skinned body of a snake with the head of a human. The creature stares at you from the inside of the bars, hoping to convince you to open the door. Okay, now I kind of wanted to show you guys a few of the posts that I found on my phone, kind of that don't require too much commentary, but I did want to show you guys anyway.
Needed then was a friend, and you abandoned me, and I will never forgive you for that. Needed then.
The entire account kind of reminds me a lot of Lacey games as well, with that kind of digital horror aspect. Oh, shit, my bad neighbors. I got like a noise complaint the other day because I was making my couch. And, I mean, what was I supposed to do? Not make my couch? But the last video that I kind of did want to mention and go into kind of more commentary territory was this video of this guy. The caption saying date with Curly. Curly asking you if you like cake, but then showing you what looks like bleach.
Do you like cake? I thought of you and I brought you this. I hope you like it.
Curly honestly seems kind of chill. I would probably accept the offer and probably go on a second date as well. The rest of the account is pretty fascinating as well, as it takes a bit of a departure from the world of horror. Like, the art style is still kind of the same, but kind of goes more into relationship types of scenarios. A couple of videos stating, when you regret it, it will be too late. With you, my last cigar. Why couldn't you wait for me? The image of a skeleton staring out of the window, filled with regret, but lacking the will to undo the actions that continue to haunt them. Kinda how it feels to fumble a baddie. Not gonna lie, bro's talking from experience. Kind of, bro. Alright, so in this next account, it goes by the name of Perpetual Angel. The account is pretty much dedicated to these off-putting posts that are kind of this mix of weirdcore, dreamcore, and a hint of distorted realism. In the first video on the account, it features the Russian sleep experiment victim staring at the viewer, then delivering the following message. Is there anyone inside? Over and over again. The background of the video is also strange in itself, because aside from the terrifying creature staring at you, they also appear to be in this pink room, decorated with Sanrio characters. So perhaps this is somewhat of a personification of how a person is feeling, asking themselves if there is anyone inside, but the person inside is this foul creature. Their true identity personified in this video. And this is what they see when they look in the mirror. The next couple of posts are relatively normal-ish, I guess, dreamcore kind of posts, with this video saying dreams are better than reality, and the next one saying the face you are looking for no longer exists, but the void you want to see in the world. Thanks for always being there for me, the void. Can't miss a place that was never real. I'm never coming back. But the video that really wanted me to include this account in this video is this video that's pretty much just a still image, but the message that it contains is pretty unnerving. The message states, I am not my body, I am beyond this world, I am vibrating energy, I am more than skin and born and eternal organs. I am the universe personified. And the posts that follow this pretty much go way over the edge and kind of go into this nonsensical horror territory. The next one says, wow is literally me. Do you ever just go? Then this image of a compilation of a few meme templates, all distorted into this nonsensical collage. The final post onto the account simply states, "I am not human, I am." The rest is redacted. Then diving into the photos that were posted onto this account, there are a few that I wanted to include here as well, including this image of a face, the face telling you, "Why are you crying for free?" Which honestly, I think we could all benefit from getting a little chuck-ching from sobbing. But something about this person invokes this very weird thought that maybe you were crying all alone. This person approaching you, asking you, "Why are you crying for free?" Would you accept their inquisition? Would you let them pay you to watch you cry? And for what purpose? It's a pretty creepy situation to find yourself in. What kinds of thoughts would race through your mind, having been asked such an uncomfortable question? I would honestly, I would accept the offer. I mean, $50 to watch me cry for maybe like 10 minutes? I feel like that's not a bad exchange. I might do it for less. One of the final posts saying, "The flesh will worship me if you cannot." These are questions with no answer. Alright, so this next Instagram account is called shatin.gfx. The account owner is a visual artist, and that becomes pretty evident in the posts that the account makes, especially when it comes to the disturbing imagery featured onto this account. The first post I came across with this account is this video with two distinct phrases accompanying the faces. The first being, "Hear me out," then, "Do you feel it?" The entire video is a loop of these flashing faces coming onto screen, each of them depicting a different person screaming out for help. I'm not sure if the "hear me out" is in reference to the "hear me out" cake, where you put the person that you is kind of like a "hear me out." I think that I would do something fancy with them. But the second line, "Do you feel it?" makes me believe something completely different. It makes me more so believe that this video is trying to ask you if you feel it too, referring to the feeling that every person in this video is simultaneously feeling as well. Perhaps a feeling of dread, or a feeling of rage, discontent, despair, and a loss of all hope as they crumble as a human being. The other posts on the account perhaps follow that same feeling as well, as a caption in a following post reads, "Nothing feels real anymore," and in another one it states, "You're in too deep, touch some reality." Then in another video it's this short story that begins stating, "Hello, are you still there? I want to show you something. They wanted everything, but they have nothing. Do not lose yourself chasing what was never real. Stay strong, stay awake." And I feel like this video can be interpreted in a couple of different ways, and while the lines aren't much to go on, perhaps the message inside is to stay focused on the truth, to not get lost in a false reality like stated in the previous posts. Perhaps you have gone too deep into this alternate world, and now this message is trying to get you out. The world is falling apart. Don't let it take you with it. The rest of the posts are pretty creepy on their own as well. There's this other video that has a chat now pop-up window stating, "Cute single girl in your area, chat now. Hey, what's up?" And then you have the option to start a chat or to decline it. And I do kind of want to do a quick poll. How many of you guys are folding? I wouldn't. I don't think. And then going on to this other post, it's a variation of the guy that you see in your dreams, and supposedly a bunch of people had experienced seeing that same person. However, in this one, the message says, "Nowhere feels safe. The beady eyes of the poorly drawn face staring directly at you, trying to make its way inside your head." Then in this other post, it's this flashing face with the appearance of a Wendigo, mere inches away from you, ready to consume you. The message, "I can't sleep," appearing on screen. This account seems very metaphorical, where a lot of it is kind of just metaphors on how it feels to experience certain things. For example, this is how it feels to have sleep paralysis or be experiencing insomnia, where this face is representative of how it feels to go through it. But yeah, the account is very existential, more so dealing with the topic of the horrors of being trapped in your own mind, and the kind of horrors that your own mind can kind of make up on its own. Alright, so this next account is called Blood Heaving, and honestly I kind of wanted to take a look at this account live on camera, just because looking through the entire account, it's just pretty weird, and I did kind of want to get my first impressions on the account just because of how strange the posts really are, particularly with this one post that got recommended to me that was pretty much the reason that I found this account. All it is this image of 3 corpses being held up by their ankles, all of them upside down as if they're butchered pieces of meat. And as for the faces, they're all extremely distorted, having been long gone of what they used to be. The account kind of dives into more body horror in these very artistic kind of ways. It doesn't show any actual bodies. However, the renditions are nonetheless extremely disturbing still. And in the following photo, it states heaven again. However, the silhouettes of what appears to be some religious figure is seen standing over a puddle of blood. The word heaven also seems to be a recurring thing, as it makes an appearance in almost every single one of the posts, all in various different ways. In this one, it's 2 people staring at the viewer, with heaven tattooed on both of their foreheads. Another is simply an image of a person being pierced by a blade, with the caption stating heaven. In this other one, I feel like it's pretty good for getting off of Instagram Reels. It says, "What's missing? Why are you here? Stop living through your phone. It's your turn to talk." I've definitely spent too much time on Reels, so I probably would have needed that to get me off. Currently on like a 2-week no Reels streak though right now, so pretty proud of that, because my screen time was getting really bad. And another one states, "Angels ain't just flesh and feather. They come in different palettes: seafoam, cherry bark, rose thorn," and he writes heaven, yellow light. "Anything could be holy enough to save you." Again, a lot of these accounts having that theme of existential horror where you're kind of under the belief that life isn't real, and that can be a very terrifying thought, especially if you make it seep its way into your mind. Reality only exists in your mind.
No bad dreams, no paranoia, careful to all animals, never watching spy.
But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. If you made it this far, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as well as liking the video and commenting bruh as well, as that does help me out a lot. And if you want more of this kind of content, I also have a Disturbing Instagram Videos episode 1 over here, so if you're interested, go check that out as well. And I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my beautiful channel members, as well as my ultimate tiers, Kareem Arellano and Alejandro from the Tower. If you want early access to videos, as well as to support me, that would be great. It's only $1.99. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'll see you later. Bye. Love ya. Stay safe. Okay, bye.